All right, hello everyone. Today I'm gonna make a quick video. This is Windows 10. I believe it's Pro Edition, and all I'm doing is it's for a client, and I'm gonna reset the computer so that it's nice and clean because they've been having some issues with it. And they got a new computer, so all the data was copied over to the new computer. So none of the data is needed for this one. We're just gonna reset this one, and then we're gonna be giving it to someone else at the small company. So basically all I'm going to do is if I go here to Explorer, you can see that if we look in here, there's about 60 gigs of data roughly that's being used on this computer. It has Windows 10, a bunch of apps and programs and things. And we're just going to clean it up. Let's see, use space is actually, sorry, 41 gigs. So there's 41 gigs of data on here. And we want to clean it and see how well this would work by just doing a reset. We could also just do a clean install of Windows, but first I'm going to try doing a reset and see how well that works. That's something that I believe was introduced with Windows 10, and it's a quick way of me to just reset a computer that you can do that instead of having to go through the whole process of installing Windows from scratch, which these days actually is not that hard. But let's try this first. So if I go here, we're going to just type in reset in the search, and it'll come up with reset this PC. So I'll go to reset this PC, and I'll get a few options. So it's the first one here that says reset this PC. If your PC isn't running well, resetting might help. This lets you choose to keep your personal files or remove them and then reinstall Windows. So I'm going to say get started, and then here it has an option to keep your files. So this would reset the computer, and then all your data files would be stored still on the computer. In my case, I don't need that because everything's been copied over to a new computer. So we can just remove everything. So I'll do remove everything. And here that tells you what it's going to do. There are additional settings you can do if you want to completely remove everything. So that there's no way to access if you delete the files, there's no way to restore the deleted files. In this case, since the computer is going back to the same company that gave me the computer, I'm not so interested, I'm not worried about that. So I'll just keep the default settings that they have here, and I'll hit next. And then this is going to go through the process. So it says getting things ready. This won't take long. So let's see, ready to reset this computer. It's going to remove all the personal files and user accounts from this PC, remove any changes made into settings, remove all apps and programs. This will take a while on your PC, and then your PC will restart. So we'll let this run, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like later. All right. So here, as we saw, there was a C drive with 40 gigs used. And then there's also this D drive, which has about 38 megabytes. So it's really small. And that's all that really this one has. So we'll let it run. And then we'll check on it later. And I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. That way you have an idea as to what happens when you actually do a reset on a computer. All right. Okay, so here it started installing Windows, and it's going through the process of installing a copy of that onto the machine. Okay, so here it seems like it finished going through the wiping of the machine, and now it left me here at the startup to set up Windows. So this is the same setup that if you installed from scratch, you would basically end up here, where basically you start hitting the options here and going through the whole process. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so we'll say do it later to that. And save only the PC. We'll set up OneDrive later. Alright, so no thanks for 365. Digital system decline for now. And here we'll just say accept for now. Alright, so then here, let's see, a few more things to do. It should be almost ready to go. Okay, so here we are. It took us about an hour and 2 minutes to go from starting the reset until you actually got back to the desktop here. And so I have some kind of, let's see, account problem with your Microsoft account, most likely the password change. Okay, that's something I'll have to check, but not a huge issue there to look at right now. So let's look and see on the drive itself. Let's see what we ended up with. So here it looks like we ended up with a hard drive which now has 18.7 gigs used up, and then the rest of it is available. And if we go here, we still have the D drive which has just 38.5 megs. I can probably merge that if I want. Overall, it's a very small space that's here, so I'm not too worried about that. But you end up basically with a clean version of Windows here. So I'll do some testing, make sure that it works okay. But essentially, that's what the process is. It took a little bit over an hour, and it was pretty painless. You kind of just clicked on a bunch of stuff, and it just does it by itself. I would say it's probably a little bit easier than having to download the Microsoft version from the website and install that and everything. So it is a quicker process. I hope that was useful for someone who was interested in seeing what happens when you go through the process. And if you like this quick video, please like and subscribe. And thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.